So today we'll be getting into some stories about Liv Morgan's retirement goals, as well as some stories with Peyton Royce and Aalyah Mysterio. Let's start things off with this Peyton Royce story. Peyton Royce was shockingly released from WWE earlier this year as a part of WWE's annual spring cleaning budget cuts. It was horrible, it was sad, and it was heartbreaking to see. Someone with so much talent being released like nothing by WWE. Everyone speaks highly of her, even Bayley, who called Peyton Sasha Banks' twin in the ring. Everyone knows how much of an all-time great Sasha Banks is, so to be called her twin in the ring is a massive compliment. But apparently, it wasn't enough for WWE, and they never really had any plans for her, so she was released by the company. Peyton Royce now goes by the name Cassie Lee, and everyone has been patiently waiting to see what her next career move will be. Her husband works for AEW, so there's obvious speculation about Cassie possibly doing something with AEW. Cassie is still in the middle of a 90-day no-compete clause, so we won't see her compete anywhere for several more weeks. But there was a few stories with Cassie Lee over the weekend. First was her photo shoot caption. She posted a new image from a recent photo shoot with the caption of "See you soon." So again, not much, not anything that's worth going crazy for, but just a nice little teaser that something has to be in the works there. The second story came from AEW's Double or Nothing event. Cassie was in the crowd just as an ordinary fan to support her husband and watch the show. That's when a fan in front of her took notice of Cassie sitting behind them. Instead of asking for a picture, the fan decided to take a creepy, over-the-shoulder picture of Cassie sitting behind him. Not only that, but the picture happened to be taken in the middle of Cassie eating. So instead of asking for a picture and taking it properly, the fan decided to take the creepy route. And now the only picture of Cassie at Double or Nothing is this low-quality picture of her in the middle of eating food. So that whole encounter was just horrible, mostly because the route that the fan decided to take it in. He didn't get away with it though. Cassie might have not noticed the picture being taken in the moment, but with the way it spread like wildfire online, the picture eventually made its way back to Cassie. She responded to the fan's picture and had this to say on Twitter: "Could have asked for a pic, bro." So it seems like things could have been easier for all of them. He didn't have to take this sneaky picture and try to hide the fact that he was taking a picture. Looks like she would have just taken a picture if he asked. As far as Cassie's wrestling return, of course, everything is up in the air and anywhere is a possibility. We talked about how Impact Wrestling was teasing an appearance for the Iconics, but fans don't seem to really believe that teaser so much. But everything still seems to be on the table for Cassie Lee. Where would you like to see her end up at? The Mysterios, Rey and Dominic Mysterio, are taking over Smackdown right now. They're the WWE Smackdown Tag Team Champions and about to enter a story with the Bloodline, so that's obviously huge. But some fans are still curious about Aalyah Mysterio's next move. Will she follow in the family's footsteps as well? Rey Mysterio was recently asked about Aalyah Mysterio during the Out of Character podcast and had this to say about what was going on with Aalyah. "It's funny you say that. My wife just asked me yesterday. She goes, 'What would you say if your daughter all of a sudden just said, "Dad, I want to break into the business?' I'd say I'd be the first to train her. I can't say no. But of course, she needs to continue with her medical field. That's what she's doing right now. She's going to college to be in the medical field. So I'm looking forward to that. Again, if she decided to switch her mindset, I would be right there to support her." Rey also talked on if she enjoyed the recent WWE appearances and the fact that she did have some acting experience at a young age. He had this to say: "She enjoyed it. She enjoyed it very, very much. She did some acting at a very young age, 8 years old. My wife drove her to LA for 2 years straight because she wanted to be an actress. She wanted to do cartoons and just do some Disney shows. Of course, 2 years after that, she kind of drifted away to do something else, but she had a little bit of a feel of what it felt like to be in front of the cameras." So just another interesting fact there that Rey revealed. Both of his kids, Dominic and Aalyah, aren't really strangers to the cameras at all. Some fans might have thought that 2020 was Dominic and Aalyah's debut year, but it obviously wasn't. Dominic and Aalyah have been playing roles for WWE television since they were 9, 10 years old, maybe even younger. So this past year really wasn't the first time in front of the WWE cameras at all. There's not a lot of people that can say that they made their WWE debuts as kids. So that's something that Dominic and Aalyah hold over everyone else. Like it was reported last year, Aalyah never signed any full-time deal. It was basically just a test run for both sides. Let Aalyah test it out and see if she likes it. Let WWE get an eye on her and see if they like her work. Obviously, it seems like both sides came out happy from that little test run. Rey says that Aalyah enjoyed her time in front of the cameras in 2020 and sort of living out that childhood dream she had of being an actress, while WWE, on the other hand, seemed to love Aalyah as well. All the reports back then claimed that WWE was just amazed that this 19-year-old with no real acting experience just came in and delivered the way she did. So having that test run completed and WWE already loving her, it's safe to assume that the door will be wide open for Aalyah if she does in fact decide to switch over to wrestling. The Mysterio legacy seems like it'll continue through Dominic, but Aalyah coming in and carrying the legacy into the women's division would be quite a big deal as well. Seems like Rey Mysterio is also in full support of Aalyah wrestling. Like he said, if she ever tells him that she wants to wrestle, he'll drop everything and train her right away. But we'll see how that goes and what she decides to do. Liv Morgan's retirement plans. Liv Morgan will be turning 27 this month in June. Her career is just getting started, but she recently responded to a tweet that set out a big retirement goal for herself. This all started when BT Sport WWE put up a tweet asking fans this question: who's the one WWE superstar you want to see win a world title before they retire? The answers were mostly all superstars that were on the back half of their careers and still haven't won any world titles. But it was Liv Morgan who quoted and tweeted and said Liv, obviously referring to herself. Liv Morgan is still one of the youngest superstars on the roster, but she's been around for a while. She joined WWE NXT when she was 19 to 20 years old and has been working her way up ever since. She got called up to Smackdown as a part of the Riot Squad trio, and they had a lot of great memories together, but no gold was won during that time. Liv disappears, the hype builds up, this massive singles run that WWE apparently had planned for her. But we all know how that turned out. We don't even need to get into how they dropped the ball there and wasted her return. So fans spent a while discussing if falling back into that tag team was a step back or a step forwards for Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan still has never won any gold in WWE, but she's making it clear that she wants to win a world title before retiring. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments, don't forget to subscribe, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.